Welcome to my presentation. In this presentation, let us look at some application problems related to proportions. Let us say the ratio of weight on the moon to the weight on Earth is given to us by a ratio 1:6. If your weight is 150 pounds on Earth, what would be your weight on the moon? Interesting question. So let us see how we can figure this one out using the proportions property. So let us write this given problem in terms of a ratio, in terms of a proportion, okay? So how do we do this? The way we can do this is as follows. Weight on moon, let me write this. Weight on the moon divided by weight on Earth. Weight on Earth. And weight on the moon to weight on the Earth is given to us by ratio 1:6. So let's write that also down there, is equal to, and he is telling us that if you weigh 150 pounds on Earth, what is your weight on the moon? We'll call the weight on the moon as X pounds. Okay, now we have a proportion. We have converted this word problem into a proportions problem basically, and to be able to use the proportions rule, we're going to just recall what the property says and then apply it to this particular problem. The property is telling us that if we have two ratios, A over B, and if we have another ratio, C over D, and according to the proportions property, if we multiply the product of the means, the product of the extremes is equal to the product of the means. And if one of the quantities is an unknown quantity, we can go find the value of that unknown quantity using this proportions property. In our problem, the way we can apply this proportions property to our problem is as follows. Weight on moon to weight on Earth is given to us as 1:6, like that, is equal to, if we weigh 150 pounds on Earth, what is our weight on the moon? So this is a proportion. Now we're going to take the product of the means and product of the extremes, and when we write it out, it's going to be this way. 1 times 150 is equal to 6 times X. And now we have successfully applied the proportions property. Now we're going to use the division property to be able to simplify and find the value of X. And let me write this one more time. 1 times 150 divided by is equal to 6 times X. Since we want to find the value of X, we're going to divide by 6 on both sides. And when we divide by 6 on both sides, as long as the terms in the numerator and denominator are the same, we can cancel them out or simplify them as it goes into each other one time, and then 150 divided by 6, that value is going to be equal to 25. So therefore here the value of X is going to be equal to 25. This is our answer. And to tie it back into the problem, step number 4, if your weight on Earth is 150 pounds, and if we know the ratio of the weight on moon to that of on Earth, which is given to us as 1:6, then we just figured out the amount of weight we would have. Our weight on moon would be 25 pounds. So then your weight on moon is going to be 25 pounds. It will be one sixth of what it is on Earth. So you will weigh much lower than your weight on Earth. You'll weigh 6 times lesser than when compared to what you weigh on Earth. So these are some of the application problems which will help us apply the proportions property to our real world or real situations around us. Thank you for being with me for these presentations. We will have some more presentations very soon. Thank you.